didn't see you there.
Something big is going on here.
From hunting ghosts to Bigfoot,
paranormal, UFOs, true crime, and more.
We won't just be spouting articles.
I was researching for your entertainment.
Beginning of a new world.
The best squawk you'll ever fucking eat.
true story.
It's basically like one day you walk outside and you see that the ants are playing with matches.
This is the Black Cat Report. See you on the other side.
County Dispatch.
Okay.
Bob, I swear to God, 4 calls in on an unidentified object over Liberty.
4 calls.
4 calls on an unidentified flying object.
What you just heard was Trumbull County, Ohio 911 dispatcher Royanne Rudolph making a private call to her close friend, Sergeant Toby Malero. It was shortly after midnight on December 14th, 1994, and more calls would soon be coming in. Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 31 of the Black Cat Report. My name is Gil, and I'm joined here today by the incredible Joey.
Hey there.
The international beach Bigfoot hunter extraordinaire, Betsabe.
Hola.
And the cryptid queen, Selena.
Hello.
Now, before we get into these incredible recordings, we have to give credit to the source, and more so, the completely unlikely wild series of events that led up to obtaining them. You see, in 1996, Kenny Young, a UFO researcher from Cincinnati, published details about his ongoing investigation into a potential UFO crash. This crash took place on December 26, 1988, near Liberty, Ohio, just north of Dayton, right next to the very legendary Wright-Patterson Air Force Base. Apparently, on that night, the assistant chief of police witnessed a massive lime green ball of light emerge from the clouds, change color, and then crash violently into the ground. Calls were then made from local dispatch to Wright-Pat, and from there, the story goes, a secret government crash retrieval team descended on the area and the whole thing was hushed up. Well, 2 years after publishing his initial research, Kenny received an email from an Ohio dispatcher who had shared the story with his coworkers. They had all become fascinated by it and started asking around, reaching out to other dispatchers in Ohio until finally they were able to confirm, yes, it did happen. The information collected by the dispatchers gave Kenny a number of new leads, including the specific police department involved that night. As it was that wild, untamed time before Google, to find a long-distance phone number, you'd press 0 on your phone to call the operator, who would then find it and hook you up. Well, Kenny called the operator and asked for the phone number to the Liberty Police Department. As it turns out, there are 25 different Liberty townships in the state of Ohio, and the operator gave him the wrong Liberty Police Department, which was literally on the opposite end of the state. Now here's the moment where an honest mistake and coincidence become fate. When Kenny called the number he was given and started asking about a UFO incident from a few years ago, the dispatcher told him, yeah, we remember that. Kenny would then go on to ask follow-up questions, and a relationship would build between him and the folks who worked at the Liberty Police Dispatch. Slowly, after 2 weeks of calls and questions, Kenny would come to realize that it was the wrong damn police department, but by now, he was hooked on this new case. In the end, all this led to the dispatchers finding the recordings in their archives and, in a semi-legal way, making and sending a copy to Kenny. And this copy is what we're hearing. Now, if you want to know more about Kenny, the story behind the tapes, and his thoughts about the events, I'll include the link to an old Art Bell interview in the show notes. Now let's get back to the story.
County Dispatch, may I help you?
Yeah, did you get any reports of any object in the air about 15 minutes ago?
Somebody called in, but I really don't know what that would be.
Yeah, but I mean, it was very strange.
Okay.
Looked like a back end of like one of them fighter planes, like a plane coming out the back.
Okay. Was it just like moving at a slow rate of speed?
It wasn't a slow rate, it was a fast rate, but it was coming down.
It was coming down?
Yeah.
Like straight down or at an angle?
Like an angle.
At an angle?
Yep.
Okay.
I mean, it wasn't real big in the back.
Okay.
Flame.
All right. Well, I'll tell you what, we'll check with the air base in Vienna and see if they have any report of anything in the area.
Yeah, okay, thank you.
Okay. Bye-bye. 996. We have a report by CC. Actually, 2 calls in of a vehicle in the sky. Unknown object above Sampson Drive. Have you noticed anything?
What's the location?
The area of Sampson Drive.
North or south?
Sir, he just advised in the air, in the sky. He didn't advise direction.
998.
998, go ahead.
Did he give you a description of the object?
Public service, sir. I'll give you further.
Okay.
County Dispatch.
Okay.
Bob, I swear to God, 4 calls in on an unidentified object over Liberty.
4 calls.
4 calls on an unidentified flying object.
Why not take a look? All right, we'll check it out.
You want me to call the air base and see if there's anything in the area?
We'll take a look.
I swear to God. You want to hear the call?
Come out here and coast you.
You want to hear the call? Wait a minute, I'm going to let you hear the call because you think I'm lying.
I believe you.
No, I swear to God. Listen.
Okay.
Wait a minute.
Oh, go ahead. Yeah, I'm identified flying object.
Here. Here. Somebody called in, but I really don't know what that would be. Okay.
Looks like a fracking of like one of them fighter planes.
Okay.
Call the air base and see if they got.
I'm stroking the hell out of this guy. Was it moving at slower rate of speed? Did it dip directly down? I'm gonna start a friggin' panic. You guys got friggin' UFOs over there?
Yeah, ask them if they got any Fox in town.
Huh?
Ask them if Fox is in town.
If Doc is in town.
Fox.
Spock. Oh, you mean like Generations Star Trek thing? Smart ass. I'll tell them they're filming the sequel right here in Liberty. Okay.
All right.
You let me know. Well, shit, if you get abducted, who am I going to call? OSB?
Toby up in here.
You'll beam Toby up. They'd spin his ass so fast out of that friggin' I swear to God, this is our 4th or 5th call on it.
All right.
All right, bye-bye. And then they got...
I'll be in the area in about just 30 seconds here. Is that one particular block it's going over, or what area of the Sampson Road or Drive?
Okay. To our knowledge, we've had 4 different calls, and this particular one came over Sampson.
Okay, different areas on Sampson itself.
Yeah, they just said in the sky. That's all we have, in the sky.
Okay. Coming out the area.
On the area, checking for an object in the sky. Copy at 30 after.
County Dispatcher.
Yeah, dear, this is State 33. This is going to sound wrong. I hear Liberty Police are in an area that I got a call about a little bit ago. A woman called, claimed she saw something in the sky.
Yeah, you called me a little while ago.
Okay. I hear they're out there and they've gotten other calls.
Yeah, we finally got one on it somewhere.
What the woman told us, on Sampson Drive, like midway in the block, there's a vacant lot or something.
I don't know. Hold on. I'll let you talk to the Liberty Dispatcher.
Okay.
County Dispatch, may I help you?
Hi, dear. This is Stacy from 33.
Hi, Stacy. How are you?
I got one of your...
Did you really?
This woman was almost...
Sorry.
She saw something. She told me that the area was like Sampson Drive. There's a vacant field midway through the block.
They're telling me this too, but it's probably some weather balloon or something. You know what I mean? They're checking the area, but these UFO calls are getting out of hand.
I don't know what it is.
If it was, what the hell did they come to Liberty for? There's no intelligent life in Liberty. Come on now. We're telling everybody they're doing this. What's that new Star Trek movie? Generation.
Bluish green, no noise.
No noise.
It was low flying and took off.
Oh, come on.
Fifth Avenue.
Are you serious? It's driving up Fifth Avenue Extension. Now, nobody. Oh, Christ.
Not driving, mind you, flying. It came down and just zooped over it with a big, glowing object.
Well, we got 4 calls on it. The last guy said it was a fighter plane. So you tell me that I would do a big news story on the water in Liberty and the effects on the people, because these people are clearly afflicted. But I appreciate the tip. I'll let them know some more on it. I dispatched it because God only knows my luck. It would land here, abduct some people, and I would be in trouble for not dispatching.
I was impressed because I heard the way you dispatched it, and I said she's trying real hard not to break.
And I'm working with the biggest jokers on the force tonight, so it's real hard not to.
Lucky.
Well, if we do run into a UFO, I swear I will call you personally.
Okay.
Okay? We'll give you an exclusive. Okay. All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
All right. So first off, to me, coming across this audio was pure freaking gold.
Yeah, it's amazing.
But
This
I
lady
do-
needs to get a job as a comedian because she is roasting Liberty so bad.
she seriously is though. Just like, you need to do a big story on like the water and da 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 da.
Like, well,
Damn.
There's no intelligent life on Liberty Street. What are you talking about? It's like, what?
yeah.
Dang.
No, Liberty County.
The whole county. Wow.
It's
I thought it was an
Trumbull
area.
County.
Wait, what
yeah,
state
it's
is
Trumbull.
this?
So this is in Ohio.
Oh,
This is
yeah,
in-
there's no intelligence life in Ohio, from what I've heard.
That's true.
Is that near where you
Yeah.
were born, Gil?
Allegedly. That's a conspiracy for another episode. No, I'm just kidding. Love my Ohio people, and I will do my best to
Yeah.
help get you all the fuck out of there if you're trying to leave.
Also, they have the fuzziest deer.
Oh.
Yeah, we do have really fuzzy deer. But anyways, so we just heard a lot. I know we just kind of like, I just jumped into it there, and a lot of things just happened. The first call was actually the second recorded call of the evening. All this started at midnight, basically, just a few minutes after midnight. And back in the day, when they would record 911 dispatch calls, they would, actually have large tapes that they would record it on. And every night at midnight, they would take them out, put a new set in. So in the tapes that eventually land in the hands of a UFO researcher, it's just a copy of what happened after midnight. So we don't have the first call. We just have references to it where they're kind of mocking the lady, talking about how she was so hysterical and she was going to cry and all these other things, right?
What year is this again?
1994.
1994.
Not even that long ago.
Yeah.
It was
But-
a year after I was born.
Dang. Tupac, I miss you. Anyways, so second audio clip that we had there was Royanne. She was humoring like the guy who called in. There had been 2 reports at this point, and I don't even feel like I'm going out on a limb here saying that she just assumed it was something else. It was a weather balloon. It was
They always
people
do.
drinking. It was a prank. It was, yeah, it had to be something else. But she humored the guy and at least reached out to a cop who was already patrolling in that area of town. And his response, the audio, I seriously did a lot of work breaking apart this audio. The original file is damn near impossible to actually listen to in certain areas. But anyways, the guy, he like asks, he's like, well, is it on north or south side of the street? And she's like, didn't specify, it just said it's up in the air. And he's like, well, what does it look like? And and she's just like, it looks like a vehicle in the air. And like, and so he's just kind of like,
Okay.
okay. Now, the third piece of audio we heard, and I'm not going to do this all episode breaking it down here, but there's a couple important things early on. The third piece of audio is actually Sergeant Toby Malero, the full conversation from what we heard the snippet from at the beginning of the episode. She didn't want to put out this notice of these 3 or 4 calls coming in about UFOs over the radio where the public can hear it, and other police departments and other people, her peers could like
News
hear such a
departments.
ridiculous thing. Yeah, news departments. So she actually called him from her phone. It was still getting recorded through the tapes, right? So it was the 911 dispatcher phone. It just wasn't on like the public, CB radio, shortwave radio thing. And he was sitting at a coffee shop, or specifically, he was sitting at a donut shop with other cops. And there's a part of the audio which is damn near impossible to hear, but he basically says, like, all right. And he like hands somebody his coffee and tells them to watch it. He's just going to go down the street and come back. So now Toby Malero, and this is important kind of, he's the second cop sent out there during the course of this evening. The last one up, or sorry, second to last one up is going to be the cop who basically got out there. He's like, I don't know where I should go. I don't know where I should be looking. Kind of the same as the first cop that got reached out to. And the last one was a reporter who was calling in, just being like, somebody called me and da-da-da-da-da. I noticed on the radio you guys were also starting to talk about this. And they all just made a giant joke out of it. That's the summary. But anyways, what do y'all think so far?
I think it's great that they have these tapes, and I think it's like a legit thing to react to something like that, like you're just doing your work and then you start getting all these calls and you're just like, okay.
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, they definitely don't take it seriously, at least at first.
Yeah. It's gonna change, but
I mean, like,
just
would
remember all the
you?
laughter.
Like, I mean, obviously, I guess, us, yeah, because like this is like our thing, but like for people that don't ever think about stuff like that. But yeah, like for regular people that don't really ever think about aliens or UFOs or anything like that, I love their reaction to this because it's like, most people would react that way. Especially like you're just doing your job, it's a random night, and then you start getting all these calls from people, and you're like, oh my God, come on. And then and I love how she makes the joke that they need to check the water because she's like, oh my God, this town is insane.
I do.
She's sassy. She's funny.
I know, I love it.
I want to be her friend.
Yes.
100%. But
And like
I
later on, sorry, just later on, you're going to be like, yeah, I really do want to be her friend.
Yay.
I still think, well, the value of this to me, other than the actual, like, just almost like being there, like looking over their shoulder, like this is being a fly on the wall while these reports are coming in, while a major UFO event is happening, right? Like this is it. I don't know a lot of cases in history that like we have that. We have reports from 20 years later. Yeah, it's like 20 years later, 30 years later, or it's through like, hypnosis sessions, or it's through this or da 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 da. It's like all these things, and it's just a lot of hearsay, and it can be really hard to kind of cut through the fog and cut through the static. And this is like play by play. This is literally like, listening to a baseball game on the radio in the 1950s or 1940s, or, and just like hearing every single thing happening. And yeah. Well, while Royanne and the reporter were laughing over the reports, more police were being sent out to the scene. You see, there was an anxiety building at the department itself. Sergeant Malero, the second officer sent to investigate, wasn't responding to calls.
County Dispatch.
This is Liberty Police.
What you need, ma'am?
I wonder, did you have anyone call you about a strange plane or airplane or something in the air?
Yeah, they're checking it out.
Yeah, I just saw it on Sampson Road.
Where?
On Sampson Drive.
Okay.
I was coming down Sampson Drive. It was almost, it looked like it was, I don't know what it was, if it was a flying saucer or what it was. It wasn't an airplane. It was not an airplane, and it was down awfully low.
Are you the same lady that called Channel 33?
No.
Okay. All right.
You must have had other calls that ordered, huh?
Yeah, not many, a couple.
Yeah. All right, thank you.
What did it look like, ma'am?
It was like almost like an iridescent color. It was like a bluish purple. It was like a long streak. Like it almost was like it had fire coming out of the back of it.
Okay.
Maybe it was, I don't know what it could have been. If it was I know it wasn't an airplane.
Okay, ma'am, I'll let them know.
All right.
All right, bye. 998 the radio.
998, good.
Yeah, CC stopped me, said it appeared to be hovering about 50 feet off the ground, heading towards Sodom Hutchins. I'm going to be checking that area. It's supposed to be a large object with a lot of lights on it.
Sir, I have another report at Sampson Drive, and also we've been advised by caller to the media. Media informed us it was a blue-green object hovering, no noise. It was in the area of Fifth Avenue Extension.
98.
998, good.
I see some lights. It's over 1 block from me. I'm going to try to get over there. I got to go down the street here. It's a large object, whatever it is.
996, are you in the area? 925, do you want to head over to that area?
Traffic.
Repeat your traffic.
Copy, I'm in route. Where do you see that, Toby? I just got a glimpse of it. I could see, I'm on Sampson right now. I could see it heading by Fifth Avenue on the other side. I could see some lights up in that area. All right. 925 and 998. Should I set my phaser for stun? Yeah, go ahead and do that. 96 on Fifth Avenue.
96, can you repeat your traffic?
Area Fifth Avenue Extension.
The area Fifth Avenue Extension. 996, you advise that you don't see anything?
I could see it was like a red pulsating light.
Okay, radio was advised to be blue and green.
I saw it was red. It was like a pulsating light. It looked like it was like to the bottom of the airplane, but it was real big.
Okay, we're trying to contact the air base this time. Stand by.
Maybe it's a flying. Yeah, I'm seeing it as 8 tiny ring here.
8 tiny green men.
With multiple cops now confirming a visual on an object in the area, Royanne finally calls air traffic control, which, by the way, in the audio, they will be referring to as airbase.
Air traffic control, sir.
Yes, sir. This is Royanne from Liberty Township Police Department. Yes, in Ohio.
Yeah.
We have a report of some flying object in our jurisdiction, in our area, above the Sampson Drive, Fifth Avenue Extension area. I could not give you any kind of traffic, direction that would help you know that area. Do you know of anything that should be in our airspace this time, close to the ground?
Right
This is not a prank phone call, I swear. You can call me back to verify.
Look at the radar scope, and I go 60-mile diameter of Youngstown, and there is nothing out there.
Oh, shit.
Not even anything up high.
We've got five accounts, 5 calls in on this.
Yeah.
Something's flying in our area and it's low to the ground. Would you be able to monitor like a Cessna or something with a light on it?
Well, if it was, do you mean visibly?
No,
On the radar?
with the radar.
With the radar, it depends on how high it is and where they are. You know, if it's low radar coverage, so there isn't any.
Okay, now I have to go here and tell them something, and I don't want to say you couldn't find anything. Is there any, like, clause I might use that it might be like a personal aircraft or something that might be used at night or something?
Could be, you know, could be anything. As far as, you know, any kind of helicopter traffic or anything down low, they don't have any kind of requirements to...
It made no noise?
Unless they're coming into the airport here.
Okay, so you have no communications with helicopters. It could be something like that?
Yeah, it could be a helicopter.
Okay.
The helicopters particularly flying
Okay.
low.
All right, I'm buying this 100%, but...
Are you, you know, is that location anywhere near a hospital?
We are close to a hospital, but the location is away from... As low as they said it was to the ground, it would be approximately 5 miles away from the hospital. We're closer to... That end of town is closer, like, out towards the Vienna line. Vienna Air Base area, and that's what I thought maybe it was related to.
Yeah, we haven't had anything going on, you know, nothing come from that direction.
Okay.
Maybe half an hour ago.
And I'm going to... Okay.
Guys just go out here northbound, climbed up high, and nothing's going on around here.
Okay, I am going to advise you of this. You could take it and file it under G and in your garbage can if you want to. We've got accounts of this. Hold on 1 second for me. Okay, I've got 4 to 6 calls. Hold on 1 second. Smart ass. Okay, at this time, I've had 4 to 6 calls come in about a lit object, well-lit object, blue-green lights, hovering above the area of Sampson Drive and 5th Avenue. The object was low to the ground, did not make any noise, hovered there for some time, then continued moving down the 5th Avenue extension road. My unit was out. He caught something he thought was red. Somebody described it as the end of a fighter pilot plane. I don't know what the hell kind of lines of continuum they're drawing here. I don't see any. But this is what I was advised of, so I wanted to call.
Okay, well, you know, we don't, I have a, if I was downstairs in the radar room, I would have a finder with some phone numbers. We have some 800 numbers as far as, you know, identified flying object reports and things like that. If you wish, you can call, you know, during business hours tomorrow.
Like I said, I don't know.
You know, I don't see anything out there, nothing on the radar scope. I haven't seen anything, and, you know, we don't really do anything with the information.
Okay, I thought I'd pass along in case somebody was maybe flying without permission and, you know, night flying or something like that. I didn't know what was going on, but as long as I've done my job passing it along, and I don't want to sound like a crackpot, but that's what we've got in so far.
Right away.
Okay, thank you. Bye-bye. County Dispatch.
Hi. It's Adam Hutchins Road and Sampson Drive out in Liberty.
Yes, ma'am.
I wondered if I heard on the scanner where they were looking for that big blue.
Right, ma'am.
Yeah, did they find anything yet?
Not yet. The dispatcher for Liberty Townships right now, she's speaking with the air base to see if they have possibly something in the area at this time.
Oh, I see. Yeah, I heard on scanner. I thought it was one of them flying saucers since it wasn't very far from the ground.
Well, that's why she contacted them in case it might be a weather balloon or something.
In on that.
I beg your pardon?
Did they call the news on that?
I have no idea.
Yeah, I thought I heard in the scanner that they did. But they think it might be from the air base.
Right. That's like I said, the Liberty Dispatch is on the phone right now speaking with the air base.
And they think that's where it's from?
Yes.
All right. Well, thank you.
Okay, ma'am. Bye-bye.
I had to include the audio of just the like nosy old lady who was just up late listening to a police scanner and literally just called to give them her opinion. She's like, well, I think they should blah, blah, blah. Okay, bye.
I know, that would
She
be
deserves
me.
her own show.
Yes,
She does.
that's something I would do.
But it does represent the fact that, like, they weren't just getting calls from folks actually like, reporting it, but they were starting to get calls from people that were hearing about it
Yeah.
and were concerned. They weren't direct like witnesses, but they were like, hey, like what's going on? Da 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 da. All of this is building up a lot of tension for just some random night in a sleepy town,
Yeah.
right? Like it's like pretty much the graveyard shift, and like the way it's always been described every time I've heard Royanne talk about it in like interviews and such is just like, yeah, maybe there might be like some random folks at a bar that are bored and get drunk and start a fight for no reason. Like that's the most exciting thing that would happen in this area. So now it's like now all the pressure's on them. And I do want to bring up one interesting fact, which will be more relevant later on. There's about 4 or 5 towns or like cities that all share the same 911 operator, like dispatch location. So they're all in the same room with each other, even though they're on different radio stations and different channels. Earlier on, you could literally hear Royanne earlier on in the background talking during some of the audio. And this will happen back and forth. Like this is literally being a fly, like on the wall, like hearing these things going on in the room. Even while that last lady called in and she's like, well, yeah, she's on the phone with Airbase right now. Da, da, da. If you listen closely, you could literally hear Royanne in the background talking to Airbase. Like, and this is what these tapes are capturing. But with all that said, I thought the Airbase call was hilarious because she was just like starting to get desperate.
Yeah.
Like trying like anything at all. And he's like,
And they're like,
"Ah."
nah,
He
we don't
immediately
do that.
said shit when he said nothing in the air.
I know. I love that.
He's just
Also,
like,
I'm
what?
pretty
You
sure
should
he-
just call a UFO hotline. And she's just like, that's what I'm trying not to do.
Yeah.
That dude, oh god, I should have just had it as a small audio clip. I'm pretty sure that dude was just like blitzed out of his mind.
Oh, he was.
He sounded so fucking high, and he was like there was like a minute where he's just like rah, rah, like while she's talking.
He definitely
He's
was.
like, okay. Just so like I don't know if that knocks the credibility. I mean, there may have clearly been a plane visible on radar, and he was just staring at like an old Captain Crunch box or something like that. And he's like, I don't see anything to the west of you.
Yeah.
I don't know, but that dude sounded cross-faded, X-faded, Z-faded, every form of
All the
faded
faded.
possible.
Yeah.
All the faded.
I mean, I feel like he wasn't even like surprised by it or anything. He's just like,
Yeah, he literally sounded like he did not care.
yeah. He's like,
She even
whatever.
said like, she's like, just in case somebody's flying, like
Just for
Yeah,
fun.
somebody's flying
unauthorized in the
illegally,
area,
yeah.
and he's
He's
just
like, oh yeah, I guess that could happen.
Yeah.
I
Well,
mean,
shit,
I'm
you
pretty
should call
sure.
somebody.
Helicopter.
Yeah.
Helicopter.
You guys should call the cops.
It made no noise. Helicopter.
You guys
helicopter.
should call the cops. You said it was hovering, super bright light, made no noise. Obviously, a helicopter.
Obviously, because helicopters are
Helicopter,
very
yeah.
quiet.
But there's nothing up in the air.
Yeah, I don't have anything in the air, but it's probably
It's
a
a helicopter.
helicopter.
Yeah.
It's a helicopter disguised as a weather balloon.
Yeah.
That's a helicopter.
Oh. Well, shortly after these calls, Rayanne would announce over the radio what Airbase had just told her. Basically, there was nothing on radar and no simple answers to give the concerned callers or the now growing number of police witnesses. When she finishes up, Sergeant Malero calls in pretty much just to tell dispatch, quote, I'm going to be out of service for a few minutes. I have to gather my thoughts. Time would pass and more calls would come in before Sergeant Malero would call back, first on the radio and then directly to Royanne's phone. Sergeant Malero reports back.
Good.
Yeah, I'm okay now. I'll be back in service.
59.
Getting back to the UFO, I saw it.
Did you really?
But if it was red, I don't know. People saying it's blue. Right? I pull up to this.
County just saw it too.
Yeah, and he goes, hey, this thing's hovering right over Sodom Hutchins. It just came over my house, right? I said, are you serious? He goes, yeah, right? Then you tell me you got a report of it on Fifth Avenue Extension, right?
Yeah.
I'm right by Patty Metzinger's house, and I looked towards Fifth Avenue Extension, you could see a red glow up in the sky. It was huge. It was like huge.
See, but they're telling me blue-green because the media called. This woman was crying hysterically. She's like, oh, my God. And she's screaming, and they're like, oh, God. And they call me, and I'm laughing it off because I can't, I'm not going to cause a panic.
We don't be on dope or something. I see this, right?
No, because Toby, I swear to God, we got 7 to 8 calls on this UFO.
They're scanning us.
No, I'm telling you what, they were coming in at the same time. They were coming at the same time.
Well, anyway, I see this.
And the county saw it. Somebody from the county saw it.
Really?
I think Pete Lusick saw it because he came across his channel and he goes, "She's that big fucking thing in the sky with the lights." And first we thought they were making fun of us, but they went to another channel to do it because they didn't want to be on their main.
Well, with me, I saw this big red, it was glowing in the sky.
Well, that's what the guy said. He said it looked like fighter pilot lights in the back of the tail of a bomber.
Yeah, that's what it looked like.
And I said, well, maybe it's a weather balloon. Well, I called up, and Toby, I swear to you, I was laughing it off, and I thought, well, he's going to say weather balloon or something, but he says, no, I don't. He goes, we have nothing. He goes, we have, and he's trying to give me numbers to report it, and I'm saying, no. I don't want any numbers. He's going, well, he goes, I don't have anything in a 16-mile radius of Youngstown. He goes, I'm looking at the radar right now.
Well, this thing wasn't more than about 50 feet off the ground.
Well, that's what I told him. I said, this is low to the ground. I said, you might not pick it up. I said, he goes, well, maybe it's a helicopter. I said, well, I heard from 4 people, something that low to the ground would be making a hell of a noise.
This thing wasn't making no noise.
I know.
Because I rolled down, when I saw the glow, I rolled down my window, I didn't hear a sound. The only sound I heard was my car.
Well, what was it moving, or was it just...
Yeah, it was glowing. It was moving. You could see it like up in the air, glowing and getting further away from me. That's why I had to go all the way down to Overbrook and cut over to get on Fifth Avenue. As soon as I turned on Fifth Avenue, I didn't see Dick.
Did Bob see it?
No.
Did Steve see it?
No. I'm the only one that saw it.
There was about 10 other people in Liberty who were just swearing up and down they saw a UFO.
The media probably have something.
Oh, they'll have a ball with it, because, they had called already.
Well, what did they say? Did you guys locate anything?
Yeah, well, they're like, the people are serious. They're very upset. And I'm like, well, it's got to be a weather balloon or something. And I knew it wasn't a weather balloon because they, FAA would know about it.
Prosecutors said it was green and blue lights?
Well, no. The media said it was green and blue lights. I had a man who said it was he said, the thing is, it's got red lights.
Yeah. So what Sergeant Malero didn't say there was that when he first pulled up and started viewing the object, he rolled down his window, was watching it. He said that the sound of his own car engine was louder than whatever the object was. Just after that, his engine shut off.
Oh,
And then his radio stopped working.
of course.
All of the electronics near him died, and he was just there for about 4 or 5 minutes, staring at the bottom of what he would later come to say was about 100 yards wide, 300 feet wide object, 50 feet above him.
Wow.
Basically blocking out the sky. With that said, he had an incredibly difficult time telling the shape of it because it was so bright. He couldn't look directly at this glowing red object. He could just kind of glance out of the side of his eyes, and he said the way that it moved gave it the impression that it was shaped like a saucer, but it was just this massive football field size, like glowing red blimp thing that was 50 feet above him, moving in complete silence. And he was just mesmerized for about 4 or 5 minutes. During that time, they were like, so what's down there? What's going on? Trying to call him. He can't answer because his radio's not working. And he just basically had to sit there and wait until the craft slowly left and started moving into another area of town. Once it got a certain distance away, magically, everything started back up again. He could start his car again. He sat there for a few minutes and decided, I should continue to pursue this.
Yeah.
He didn't have to start his car. The engine started on its own.
I thought he said that he had to try to turn it over a couple times.
He said that he tried to turn it over a couple of times when the power was out and nothing was happening.
Oh, gotcha.
But then once, and I've I've heard it a couple times, and then in the recreation, they also, like he said, like it just turned on, and then in the recreation, like the engine's on and everything.
Because it was already on
Damn.
before it turned off.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Oh.
Good catch.
Yeah. And that guy
good catch.
actually changed his name to Roland Emmerich, the director of Independence Day. And that's how he was
Holy shit.
inspired for that movie.
Wow.
Well, with the reports now spreading to other towns, police in neighboring jurisdictions are also starting to call in and report the object's movement and position.
Okay, I'm on 14. You got a copy? Yeah, it looks like I'm getting pretty close here, but I can't really judge how far out it is, you know? Oh, I've been stationary since I called you. However long it took you to come from over on the west side, that bugger has not moved. Yeah, well, I'm going over 11 right now, and it looks like I'm starting to maybe get next to it here. It's still out a good ways. See it? Is that just no, see it down over here just above the trees. So big, yeah. Okay, has it moved any? It looked like it might have flickered a little in that because it's moving slightly. Hey, this is the binoculars. I would think the airbase could get a pretty good eye on it. Okay, Mikey's up here with me now. He's looking through the binocs. It looks like it might have moved just slightly because it moved from one side of a tree to another, but it's still visible right here where we're at.
So over around 11.
Well, I'm out here at
Around 11.
the ridge already. Ridge at the airbase. You say you're at ridge at the airbase? Okay, it should be south of you, right? Look like it's doing circles, Tina? Because it isn't moving.
What area is it in?
Huh?
What area?
Hang on one sec. Davey, what area do you think it's in now? Hang on a minute. Okay, where you're at and where I'm at, I'm about half a mile south of Kingsgrave on Henhide.
Henhide, half a mile south of Kingsgrave.
It's still a little bit south of me, so where are you at as far as on Ridge Road?
You guys have to take P-tests and all that, Helen? Because we went outside, we didn't see anything.
But I don't know where I got put down. Later, I'm out here coming up on the main gate.
They all see it. We were all on Henhide, we didn't see it.
Okay, well, we're on Henhide north of Kane. Okay, there's a brand new house under construction, and we're watching it right through the empty field.
You've seen it through the field?
Yeah, we're scanning. All our cars
How big is it? What color is it? Because I got green.
It ranges from like a whitish red to pulsating greenish lavender.
Do you see any red? It was a whole red light. He said it looked like...
Well, from the distance, I mean, I can't tell. My binoculars are a cheap set of binoculars. I thought I saw some red. Let me check with Dave from his angle. Do you see red and green on it? Hey, Dave, from your angle,
I'll call the
do you see
airport.
pulsating red and green?
I'm telling you, we went outside. We didn't see anything.
Yeah, what?
I'm calling the airbase again.
Okay.
Hold on. Just stay on the line.
I'd gladly come down, pick you up in the car, and bring you.
I want it. Come get me.
All right.
Come get me.
All right.
I'll be outside.
Okay.
All right. I need a break. He's going to take me to see it. Yes, sir. This is Rain again from the center here in the 911 center. I called you about Liberty Township.
Yes, ma'am.
The darn thing is in Howland Township now, and it's hovering over a site. You show anything at all on your radar screen in the Warren area?
In Howland Township.
Howland Township.
That's hovering where?
Hovering over a Henhide in Howland Township, about 5 minutes here from the center. They're seeing this. They're watching this thing. It goes 50 feet from the ground. There's blue and green lights. Some people say they see a red holding light. Hovers about 50 feet from the ground with no noise. We've had this all night.
Here, looking to the west. Yeah, I don't see anything. I'm 70 feet in the air.
I'm going about
to look for this right now. My unit's coming out there. Tell me when he's out here.
Okay, yeah, let me get a pair of binoculars. Why don't you call
Can
me
you check that? Let me give you a number to contact, 675-2549.
Okay.
All right?
Alrighty.
All right. I'm going to look at it now myself.
Alrighty.
Bye-bye.
Talking about the thing that looked like a UFO or whatever? Who was it? That was a joke. That was a joke. No, we've had... we know. That's what it was. We got 8 calls earlier. Yeah, Liberty was telling us about it. And we got calls last night on it, too. Pete told, I said something to Pete. I said, yeah, it's probably all dirt. How's the UFO going to be detected on radar when it's a stealth? I could only hear bits and pieces. Yeah, that's what we were saying. But yeah, we got like 8 calls on it earlier. Because I told Pete, I said, think about it. For 40 years, you heard about UFOs, and they never had one on radar. So they got to be stealth. Yep, exactly. I said, they'll never get them on radar. Yeah, who knows? Actually, Royanne called out to the airport to see if they were picking anything up. Yeah. Around the area, and they said they hadn't seen anything. But we got, if you get one call or something like that, you don't think anything of it. We got like 8 different calls from different people on it. So that's hard to say. The winter months, you see a lot more shooting stars because the sky's clear or something. Right. Yeah. Right. And with the cold, they drag on. Right. And when I left the station tonight, there was one good one to come down. I mean, it was way down, still way bright. Huh. And that's what Pete was. He was just joking about that because I told him I saw that shooting star. Yeah. You're like, beam me up, Captain Kirk. Yeah. So that's probably what they're saying. Yeah, most likely. Okay. All right. Yeah. Well, I'll make a note of that for whoever else comes out tomorrow, whatever. Maybe, hopefully, she won't start up again, but just in case. Well, you might just want to keep a note of that registration in case the guy's like an afternoon turn or somebody. Right. County Dispatch. Yeah, is that a UFO they're looking for? Huh? Is that a UFO they're looking for? Who's this? This is Bill down at the jail. Oh, yeah. Yeah, seriously. We got like 8 calls on it earlier. You gotta be shitting. No. Hey, Leslie, would you believe Leslie if she said yes? No. Isn't that a UFO that we got like 8 calls on earlier today and they're looking at it again? Leslie said yes. It is. Be shitting. No, we got calls earlier tonight on it. And a couple different people, the officers said they saw it, and one of the Howland officers just said he saw it at Kings Graves and Hen Hide, hovering there for like 10 minutes. So who knows? It's pretty messed up. We got reports on some last night. We got reports on them tonight. So, okie-dokie. All quiet over there tonight? Yeah. You need to be over here where the interesting things happen. Really? I'm going to go outside and take a look around. Yeah, we went out from here and couldn't see, but it's hard because there's a lot of lights, I guess one of the Howland officers said it was like an area of Hen Hide and Kings Graves, though, hovering there for like 10 minutes. A big blue. What was it supposed to be, Rick? Blue and green? Let me see what color it was for Rick. What was it supposed to be? Blue and green? It's supposed to be blue and green, I guess. Yeah, UFO number. What's he doing? So, we called out to the air base earlier, and they said that they hadn't had anything on their radar. But if it's in the area of Hen Hide and Kings Graves, it would have to be showing up on their radar. If there was something there. Don't they have any fighter jets out there anymore? Right there. How would you know that? Oh, could you tell what they just said? Somebody just said something. I don't know what they said there. All right, I'll let you go. All righty. If I find out anything else, I'll call and let you know. All right, bye.
Did you all catch what he was saying? They've said now a couple or this guy has said now a couple times, and also a few other officers at different points and dispatchers have said this has been happening for a couple nights.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy. So just not
just
reported, I
one
guess, as much until tonight.
Yeah. And we'll hear some little snippets later on too, where officers are talking about how last year when something happened and other events where other times when things have happened and when they've tried to report it or how they've been dismissed, but they're actually like to me, the tone that'll be coming across in their voice is like almost like vindication. Like they're excited.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, yeah, and do you remember last year? Don't even bother calling them.
Oh, it's back.
Like, yeah, basically.
Yeah.
Bob. All right. And now it spreads.
Go ahead. Okay, they're moving from where you're at. I'm running down to pick up another person. Negative. I'm out at the airbase here. We're standing here while I keep a visual on and let me know, because I want to pick this person up, and I'm about 30 seconds away from picking them up. Okay, looks like he's just sitting here. Okay. 433 subjects en route. Worst case, I'll be there in under 30 seconds. Coming out this way? Old 82, run east on Old 82, because I got a vision down here by the others. Okay. Okay, I could see a large red, blue, and green light up in the sky. It's east. I'm on Liberty. Going east. Things like going so fast, there's no way I can keep up with it. 998 the radio. That's fine. When I pulled on Liberty, you could see it in the distance. And as I got closer, it was stationary and it started moving. Which Liberty? Liberty off of Belmont. I don't see it now. I'm down on going that direction. Okay, 429, it's south of Old 82. I'm moving east now on it. Okay, I'm still stationary up here at the airbase. I don't see anything else as far as movement other than it's pulsating. Yeah, that's about all it's doing. I don't see it. Call the Air Force Base. See what they have going on. Okay, 429. I'm coming up to Belmont. It's just still south of me. I'd say it's southeast. I was looking at it through the binoculars. It looks like it has something protruding out the top of it. Okay, you must have better binoculars than my set, because I couldn't quite make it out. I'm going to try to stop on Belmont and see if I can get a better look at it. Okay, does it seem like you're any closer to it? Yeah, definitely closer than your location, because it's still south of me. It's southeast of Old 82. Okay. Yeah. It's almost over the tracks now. It's into Hubbard now. I see it now, too. Okay, Dave, it looks like it's flickering more now, and it looks like it's running a little east of me now. I'm heading east on Old 82 from the center. Okay, I got a pretty good view over here. Something flickering is maybe a couple trees or clouds from my location, but I'm running dead east on it, parallel on it, just slightly north of it. Okay, I heard Liberty had some traffic too in regards to that. saw something, because I know we're definitely seeing it. It's extremely bright. I mean, it's really bright. This thing is going pretty good. It's all the way into Liberty now. We're into Hubbard now, almost into the center. I saw it real briefly. 998 to radio. 998. Alan reporting sightings. That's affirmative. Hey, Walter, chase it back north. I want to see this thing. Well, Frank, for now, it's glowing. How far it's visible, you should be able to see it. I'm going to head out to 305 and 11, see if I can get a glimpse of it from there.
And that's what a police chase of a UFO sounds like. I don't know.
Very
This shit just
staticky
gets me
too.
giddy as all hell.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but that was like 4 or 5 different police departments all coordinating with each other, jumping
Aw,
back and
teamwork.
forth, just saying like, yeah. Well, they're trying to chase it down. A couple of them can like spot it from where they're at, and they're like looking through like binoculars and things like that. Other ones are like, "Oh, I'm east of this road," and the person's like, "Well, it's south of you," and the person that's south of them is like, "Yeah, it's north of me." It's blah blah blah. The key here is, if it was a star in the sky, it would be east of all of them.
Yeah.
It would be west of all of them. It would
Mhm.
be in the same position,
Yeah.
right?
Mhm.
So
A shooting
while some
star.
folks are having, yeah, it's just, in the winter they kind of slow down. Everything slows down in the winter.
Yeah.
But,
Mhm.
but I love that the guy was just like, yeah, no, actually, there's a lot of reports, and the other guy kind of pushed back. He's like, oh, it's a shooting star. He's like, yeah, sure,
One of the
But-
cops is like, yeah, it's a shooting star. Boo, 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 boo.
Pew, pew. but but like, I don't know, dude, that to me is like the cherry in this piece, and there's still more audio left there. And this is with me cutting a lot out from the original recording, which I will be including in the show notes, the kind of enhanced version that I did of the entire piece. So if you go to our website, well, there'll be a link in show notes. I haven't figured out how to deliver it yet, but I will have it there, as well as, I'm fairly certain, the first complete transcript, or at least the best transcript that can be made of all of this audio. I spent some time putting that together. So if there are parts where you're like, I'm really trying to hear what they're trying to say, hit up the show notes, and it'll be there broken down like minute by minute that you can follow along with. But yeah, anyways. Any thoughts so far? I know
I love
I'm kind
it.
of processing a lot here.
I love it. I
mean, you
think
can
it's so
slow- like-
exciting.
Yeah, like you said
Mhm.
earlier too, like you can just see from the beginning how the perception is changing between everybody. You can
Mhm.
just see at the beginning, just like her laughing and and old Sheriff Bob over there being like, hey, I guess let's just go check this one out, sitting at a donut shop like normal. And then they're just like, put on my badge and get in my car. And so then just goes and gets in his car and just drives out there. And then now they're all like, now the 911 operator, she's like, come pick me up, I'm going.
Yeah.
She has become an alien chaser.
Mhm.
She has become like a storm chaser in the Midwest. She's just sitting out there like, let's go, I want to go out and see this thing for myself. And they're like, all right, get in the back.
Yeah, I love
So
how
she doesn't
she's
even care
like,
that she looks. Yeah.
I love how earlier too she was like, I need to take a break.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I was like, this is what makes you want to be her friend even more. She's like,
Yeah.
yeah, come pick me up. I'm gonna go see this thing for myself. I need a break.
Yeah.
And then
She's
she's
like,
just
got
like,
Yeah.
she's like, I'm gonna go see me some aliens.
I know.
There was like a Selena and I watched it last night, like an old, well, not super old, like maybe like a 10-year-old History Channel show where they did cover this in part of it for like half the episode. And I like cracked up laughing watching it, because I've been like re-listening and listening and re-listening and re-listening to this audio so much, like trying to repair it. But she said in the show, and I just think I think she's awesome. I think she has a great personality and stuff like that. And she seems like a really cool person. But she said in the show with like a super serious tone, I just had this growing concern for the officers out in the field, and I needed to go check on them and see what was going on. And I was
Sure.
just like, that is not what comes across when she's like, yeah, come pick me up.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
They probably told
she's
her to
like
say
so
that for, like professional purposes.
Go ahead. Down past 34 Lumber, still eastbound. And still just southeast of my location. Okay, it doesn't seem like it moved at all from where I'm at here. Okay, you were out there by yourself, or you got someone out there that's documenting the observation also? Yeah, I'm at the air base. I had the security guard out here. He doesn't know what to make of it either. Do you want me to get a visual on it? Oh, yeah, we can see it from right here. Last check at radar at the airport, they're advising they have nothing on their screens. They're probably not going to tell us if there's anything anyway, if it's anything to do with the military. No doubt. Another Hangar 7 happened here in Trumbull County.
It's in Brookfield now. It's in Brookfield now.
998 radio.
998.
Okay, we could see it from 62. A large light. I don't know if it's changing color. I could see red in it. It just seems to be hovering right now.
That's fine.
Good. Affordable up at the home. I'm going to go up to the tower. 10-4. 433. Hear anything from any of the Liberty units or maybe Youngstown? Every agency in the county's got a visual on it that I can hear. Right now, control's copying that it's somewhere in Brookfield Township, east of 84 Lumber on Warren Sharon Road. Got a unit at the Old County home on Route 7 in Brookfield. Has a visual on it this time. Looks like it's going southeast. I just pulled off. I'm almost to Brookfield Center now to do a binocular observation, and there's definitely a structure there on 429. What you saw, I can see an upper structure off the main part of the lighting. Yeah, right. It almost looks like a little parachute hanging from it. Right. Yeah, something with a different colored lighting to it. Yeah, right. You heard from Wally, or did he get beaten up? I don't know. I haven't heard. All right, I talked to these guys. Everything's all right. They're going to go back to where they came from. Who? Oh. I can see them. Did you see anything? I got them right here. I'm looking at them. What the hell is it? Hold on a second. I got to turn my lights on before I get rear-ended. Well, I can see them from Warner Road. They're sitting stationary. I got 3 of them. One is over, well, there, and then there's 2 kind of close together. What do they look like? Well, I'd like to say that they're just like flickering stars, except I've got 4 discernible colors. I got red, yellow, green, and blue, and the one just was like flashes. So if they're those planets those guys were talking about, then they're planets with Christmas lights on. You can see them? I can see them. Not like clear as day. I don't see any wings or anything underneath them. But you see lights? Yeah. Unreal. Hold on a second. Unreal. What are you doing? That's what I mean. I mean, I can without my binoculars, I can see red, yellow, green, and blue. I mean, you're way over there. They got to be way over in Cortland. No, did you hear Cortland on the air? Yeah. Even UFOs will come into Cortland. I can't believe it. He's killing me. So you're having you're having an experience? No, because I can't see. I mean, they're so far away. They look like stars. They're
just like...
Well, the first calls we got from Liberty were they were like 50 feet above the ground.
Yeah, well, they could be on their way home.
All right. I think everyone else in this county should go home.
Yeah, I'm about ready to. This is weird. I had a beat on them from the tower. They were close. They got to be going away because they were closer than this. Now I'm looking at them. Oh my God.
What?
This is, and they're not a plane, because here goes a plane, and I can see the plane, and the plane's blinking red, and the fact that there's another plane, I think.
I think they're scrambling planes out of SATCOM 1 to go check them out.
Wait a minute.
What?
Oh my God, I hope that's a plane. Oh, Jesus Christ, please be a plane. Oh, please.
What did you...
I ain't ready for this shit. Hold on. Little bitch, where'd you go? That's a plane. Oh, thank God. Well, I get nervous when they're coming right at me. There's 3 planes up there. I'll tell you what, they're flying from the Air Force Base.
Really?
Something's got to be.
Oh, really?
Yeah, hold on. I'm about to get you rolled again.
Where are you?
Right here.
Wait, where are you?
Warner Road, south of Merwin Chase.
Really?
4 up there now. There's 4 planes.
Oh, okay.
What the? No, I mean, the other things are still there. But these are like, yeah, you fuckers. Yeah, oh, you don't see them. Pricks. All right, what are we doing with this now, Pete?
I have no idea.
Well, you know what? I can tell it's not in our airspace, so it ain't our call.
Okay.
I'll talk to you later.
Bye.
Bye.
So the tone in the evening has gone from laughing about it, mocking folks, starting to get a little bit worried, starting to get annoyed by
Yeah.
it, and then like fully chasing them. Now you're literally hearing an officer basically having the shit scared out of him. He's getting
Yeah, like
paranoid
having a
at this
panic
point.
attack.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like while they
An
were coming, he's like,
existential
"Fuck."
crisis.
Yeah, he's like, "Oh God, no, I can't deal with this shit right now. No, and it's
He says, hold on,
it's an
and then he says,
airplane."
where'd you go, you little bitch?
I know. I love
That's how you know he meant it.
But like,
I was like,
that's
for real, me.
it.
this audio like captures just a whole range of folks going from complete skeptics to the point of like they are enforcing all the stigmas and the stereotypes and like, you know, everything that's kind of like kept folks that are into UFOs or who have had experiences like down and in the shadows and afraid, right, of like coming out. And for this topic, like growing and spreading and evolving and more information coming out about it, they all had that mentality going into it and they enforced that in society, right? Just through this jokes and laughter and mockery and stuff. Now they're scared shitless about it.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
this is over the course of like 3 hours. Like, this is
Yeah.
fascinating to me. It's so many recordings of this all happening at the same time.
I love it.
Like,
All
I don't know.
the different emotions from beginning to end. It's so raw, so realistic. I like it.
Mhm.
That's
This
why
is a
I've
movie.
lost.
I know there should
It
be
is,
a movie.
dude.
Oh, there's
It's
a
a
movie?
ready-made movie.
Oh, I
No,
thought
it
they
should
made
be.
a movie about it. They should.
It's called Independence Day.
No,
Yes.
we saw like a YouTube video, and then we saw like it was on a split episode with like some haunted house, but like yeah, it was like on Real Paranormal Encounters or something like that. It was the first
It's
story. It was really
it,
like pretty true to it, but they manipulated the same part of the phone call as the other thing
that we
did. I
just
don't
listened
remember
to.
what it was.
Yeah, they're
Yeah,
like, oh God, what is that? Oh shit, I can't deal with this. Like almost there's like
they don't.
there's only like 2 or 3 shows that have ever covered this. And like every one of them has that as the intro, where it's just like, and what happened on that night? So, oh God, I can't deal with this. And like
Yeah, but they
it's just
cut
like,
off the end where he says, "Oh, thank God it's a plane." They
yeah.
just leave the part where
I'm
he
like,
says, "Oh God, what is that? I can't handle this.
Oh, why
Shit,
would they do
fuck,
that?
it's like
whatever."
there's so
Because they're
many
trying to
juicy
get
audio bits.
views and like
Yeah.
they're
I
just
mean,
manipulating shit the way that they fucking always do.
Lame.
I wonder if
Yeah.
it's manipulating it, and it kind of makes it it kind of gives it like some people would think it doesn't give it credence because like, oh, well, there were planes up that night. But to me, it gives it more credence because these people are sitting there looking at these UFOs and they're like, I cannot figure out what this is. It's moving so fast. It's moving like all these different lights.
Wait,
And
were
then
there more than
now,
just one?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, there was
Yeah,
just
the
yeah,
guy
one
was saying that he
UFO.
saw 4. No,
saw
he
Yeah.
4
said he saw
planes.
4 lights.
Yep.
3 lights?
No, he saw 4 there was 4 lights up in the sky, and he made the point
Yeah.
because people were starting to say stuff about like, oh, it's celestial, and it's like it's this and that, and he's like, well, if they are planets or like if they are
Oh,
stars
yeah.
and they got Christmas lights on them,
Yeah.
like, and he's just like,
Yeah,
that's
that's what I
fucking
thought. And
bullshit.
then
Yeah.
he was able to identify like that there were airplanes in the area
Yeah.
now. And he was like, and now that I can see these airplanes, I know that those are definitely not airplanes.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. I thought it
Yeah.
was just
Yeah, that's what I was
one.
getting at. Yeah. Is that he could tell the difference between it, and that he's also saying that he thinks that the Air Force base that's right near them is starting to send up these planes to see
Mm-hmm.
what's going on because they got all these calls. They probably got calls too, and they probably started seeing things that maybe the guy couldn't see on radar, but they probably have something else that they're seeing in that area that they're like, okay, something might be there that we have to go see, you know?
Yeah. And in one of the I guess like sandwiched clips from earlier between breaks, I specifically included a part where one of the officers says an officer asks the guy, he's like, "Can you see him over there?" And he's like, "Yeah, I'm out here at the airbase with security." Like he literally says, "I'm out here at the airbase with a security guard, and we can both see it clear, and neither one of us know what the hell it is."
Mm-hmm.
So like the stuff around like, oh, it came from the Air Force Base earlier. It's like there's literally a security guard at the Air Force Base that's just like, I don't know what the fuck that is. And they're just standing there
Mm-hmm.
looking at it, like watching it. And so about an hour and a half later, now there's talks about there maybe jets that are being scrambled and going up in the sky.
Hi, dispatch. Hey, Peg. Yeah. Hey, yeah, I bet it is. Hey, that thing with the Air Force Base and the radar? Do you remember ours last year? That we called the Air Force Base and they said, no, there's nothing going on. But then, I don't know who did it. They decided they called the National Weather thing, and the weather had it on their radar. So that's me. Well, you know, what I was just thinking, have you, like, who's ever, like, running the show out there? Who's, like, into this? No. Maybe nobody is? Who's ever running the show out here is, like, laughing at all you guys out there. But that's because they're in a closed building and we're out here looking at this. Okay. But no, what I'm wondering is maybe somebody might want to give the National Weather people a call. Because they're not going to classify shit. They'll call and say, yo, we saw something. Like they did to us last year. Pete, if you saw this, yeah, you'd be doing it too. I'm serious. Jack said it's Venus. Okay, well then there's 6 of them. Yeah, she's right about that meteor shower thing. Because when I was standing there, when I got off the phone with you, in 5 minutes, in this little space that I'm watching, there were 6 of them, whatever you call them, shooting star things. There's 6 of them, so they're there. But I don't know what it is, but I just wish it was cloudy. Then we wouldn't see this. Right, exactly.
Could you guys hear that okay?
Hi, how you doing? Okay. Yeah, I got to look through this thing in a telescope. Okay. I think what we were looking at is a planet.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but ironically, while everybody else was watching it, a couple of the Niles guys had a night vision scope. Some lady who says she lives in Liberty came came up to them. They're down here on the strip.
Okay.
And asked them, "Are you guys tracking the UFO?" And they looked at her and thought she was joking. She says, dead ass serious. She says the thing was in her backyard.
I'm telling you, I told you that woman said she was in her backyard.
Yeah.
She said, it was in my backyard, it was in the field, and she was having a fit about it. Would you please go from here, please?
So anyhow, she's telling them, and they said, "Well, is that what you saw?" She turns around and looks at it. She goes, "No." She goes, "That's a planet." She goes, "That's not what we saw."
This thing was red, and Toby said it was right near the ground. He said it lit up the sky.
Okay.
And I'm like, well, it was pretty far away from all of us. You know, we really can't make a good determination, but there's that chance, you know.
Well, for about the last 35 minutes, we've been tracking this with a telescope, and it's moving in a set arc, you know, which would be with the rotation.
Okay.
It's a planet. Which one, God only knows. It's a planet, it's not a star.
Well, we were all excited.
Oh, I know I was too. I
We
think,
thought something.
it's definitely something else. You know, whatever. You know, I don't dispute what the lady's saying, but just thought it was funny that somebody came all the way down into Niles, either on their way to work or whatever.
Yeah, so what the hell you're looking at now? That's not what I saw. No, Toby said, you know, there's no way that, he said that did not look what look like what he saw.
Okay.
I do not know, you know, if it was the distance or what the situation was. But if that's a planet, that's a planet. It's pretty damn low, but...
Oh, yeah. Well, like I said, it was lower when we first saw it, and like I said, we've been sitting down here on the strip. Just, you know, everybody's sitting still, not moving. And every so often we had to adjust the telescope. So it's moving, but it's arcing in a set pattern. So it looks like it's stationary, other than it's a little higher than, you know, like where I'm at right now, I can see it where before I know I wouldn't have, because I'm down here at the corners. You know, that's even lower than the center, and I can see it now. So, oh well.
Okay.
Alrighty.
Thanks for calling.
Very many more calls on it?
No, nothing else.
Well, we'll probably all have a lot of answers today.
I'll tell you what. It's enough for me. Thanks for calling.
You take care.
Bye-bye.
Wow.
Wow.
So they just tell her it's a planet?
Some of the folks, I'm pretty sure that one guy, I've only been able to identify him through his voice. I feel like he was like off that night and he was radioing in at points because of the way he was talking about just chilling and like eventually having like a telescope and looking at it from a certain.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like he just kind of, popped in, was like, oh, I see it. And I think a couple folks over the course of the night were seeing a star, right? They were seeing a star at some point. I mean, it's frankly, folks just don't look up anymore. So when we do, weird, no, like, so I do think that was happening. But there's a main thread that's running through all this, which is the folks that said that it was hovering 50 feet off the ground all described it the exact same way at different points throughout the
And
night.
also, like,
right?
it moved too. A planet just doesn't move. It's just up there, you know, like, and like people would have seen it, like you were saying earlier, like if it's east, everyone would see east, you know?
Exactly. It
And
would be
it
like
was
east
like,
of everyone. Or sorry.
And for the police officer, it completely blocked out the entire sky.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
a planet wouldn't be that close.
I know, it's like, okay.
Yeah. And it's funny you say that. Like Royanne, like literally says, like it's awfully close for a planet, and like her tone, her phrasing, and the way she actually starts to defend that something saw that night or something happened that night. There was an object or multiple objects in the sky. She sounds eerily similar to that person that we heard in the phone call at the beginning, the second person to call in and report it. She wasn't saying like there was fire coming out of the back and it looked like, a jet or da-da-da-da-da, but just the tone where she was kind of like calm about it and just like, well, this is kind of weird. This is da-da-da-da-da. She's completely flipped sides. And something happened that just got kind of I guess just got revealed or whatever, fairly recent. But so she did go out. She did get picked up, and she did literally see a craft that night. It's not on the call. That last recording was from after she got back and like basically had to finish work
Yeah,
after seeing a UFO, which
gotta finish
that's
her
just awkward
shift.
for everyone. Yeah.
I know
But
she didn't even get a few minutes to collect her thoughts.
Yeah.
I know. But she saw a craft that night, and she was just like, no, the way it moved, like it would just be like completely slow or completely like just still hovering in the sky and then just like gone, like jet out of the way,
It's like, do people
which
don't
fits with
know
some of the
how
stories
a
earlier.
planet looks like? If you look at a planet, it looks like it's just like a star, like a really bright star.
I think a lot of folks are just trying to like grasp for straws, right? They're just trying to find anything that like helps them feel normal the next day when they go to work. They're
Why?
just
Why do
like,
humans do
you
that?
know,
Because it's not it's more widely accepted now, I think, but back then, especially in the 90s, like it wasn't that widely accepted. Like people thought you were crazy.
yeah.
So if you could rationalize it another way, then it was like, okay, like I don't have to think about it this way and I'm not going to be made fun of and people aren't going to think I'm crazy and that's going to be my explanation for things.
So sad.
People also aren't ready for their world to change. As much as sometimes we think we are ready to, like, oh, we can't wait to see, like, one day when an alien comes down as like, nice to meet you, Mr. Nice to clip clop clop clop. Quasga
Oh,
comes up
fuck
and is
that.
like, nice to meet you, Mr. Biden. And like, Mr. Putin, whoever he's talking to. And yeah, he's talking to anybody, but meeting everybody, meeting the world leaders or meeting random people, like, people really aren't ready for the way that would change the world, and think about, as you're saying, Selena, I think that people grasping for straws is so true. um Maybe that was Gil who said that, sorry.
Mm-hmm.
But grasping for straws to say that their world is not going to completely change, because that literally will change how somebody views how they're living their life, because there's future technologies that are going to be there that could change somebody's world so dramatically. Think about how the internet has changed the world, and that's like could be small time compared to what an alien civilization could bring us. So they are grasping for straws, trying to keep themselves, at least in a way, to be like, I'm okay, like I'll still be able to go to work, or else. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's God, I have obsessed over working with this audio because the original one, there were some clean areas in the original one, but God, there was like 5-10 minutes at a time where like you could just not understand what anybody was saying, but it was too juicy, so I had to keep going in and like editing and tweaking and like trying to get the tones to come out so you could kind of make sense of the static. And what I love about the story that unfolds in this, which I really do view it that way, is you have like you get to watch these folks like change throughout the course of the evening through their experience while still interacting. It's almost like they leave that part of themselves behind, right? And are still communicating with it, because the whole time they're still talking with folks that felt exactly the same way they did,
Mm-hmm.
just 10 minutes earlier, 20 minutes earlier. And now they sound like the crazies. Now they sound like the folks that are being too hysterical. Now they're like mistaking things that are up in the sky. And like it's like they're talking to like a 20-minute old version of themselves, like,
Mm-hmm.
and it's just, I don't know anything that nails down that transition so fast and so well. Like, what documentation do we have? We have a lot of folks where it's like, well, I had to come to terms with it. And like, yeah, but like, what documentation do we have of like the actual moments?
Yeah.
Like,
Mhm.
like this is second for second a play by play. And like, yeah, dude, I love this case. That's all I'm saying. It's I fucking love this case. And to hear folks go from like mocking to defending
Yeah.
is just fucking wild to
I
me.
wonder if there are any updates, because they did say that it has happened before, and I'm sure it happened again after this. So, are there any updates about this anywhere?
So I guess like I'm gonna get the dates wrong. I want to say a few months or like within a year of this. There was also a major event very similar that happened in like kind of like southwest Michigan, right? Or kind of near-ish southwest Michigan, um, which few hundred miles, away from where this is happening. And honestly, like Ohio is like actually a hotbed of specifically police chasing UFOs. Like there's like a very rich history of cops like chasing. Like at one point a cop went from, I want to say like central Ohio like into Indiana. Like just like they chased it like into another state and just like kept going. I don't know, or I don't think there's any like the one in Michigan, there are supposedly audio recordings of it, which I'd love to get my hands on and like listen to them. But I don't think there's just not a lot of this. There might be like a 2-second clip of, I don't know what that is, like some little sound bite, but it's just like, I don't know. I love this shit. And I encourage anybody who like wants to re-listen to it or hear the whole thing. Like I said, I will be having a link to the full audio. Yeah, you should totally dig in and just listen to it all. Just keep in mind that while the full audio is like, I'm going to say it's like around like 100 and, or sorry, it's around about an hour long, I think. It's not like, just because that just jumps from clip to clip doesn't mean that that's how it happened in real time. There was space in between because the calls only started getting recorded when they came in. There was downtime at points, right? So some things you can kind of tell like, oh, that was back to back and it's somebody responding and a conversation kind of dragging on. But then other times like when Sergeant Malero's like I need to take a moment to like gather my thoughts. Literally the next clip is, okay, I'm back. And it's just like, and it sounds really weird. And the audio is like, damn. Like, and it was like 2 seconds. He's like, okay, I'm good. It's just like, what the fuck?
just had
So
to
there
toot.
is
Yeah.
breaks. Just had to toot. Just had to mute it and toot it.
It's just like watching a movie.
yeah.
Like honestly, there's breaks in there, but it's you're not getting like, oh, 3 days later, and it's actually 3 days later in real time as you watching the movie. So yeah, there's a little bit of time in between.
Yeah. And there is a theory, which I'm not sure how much I stick to, that this may have been the combination of tapes that were recorded over 2 nights.
Thank you for listening to the Black Cat Report and our episode on the Trumbull County UFO chase. This should really be a movie. Or maybe it has inspired a movie. Remember to follow, review, and like us wherever you get your podcasts. And also, follow us on Instagram for up-to-the-moment updates. And as always, we'll see you on the other side.